My name is TJ.
And I'm Niberia.
It worked. I gotta get this right. Welcome back. It is no longer anything other than the Play vs. Fall 2020 CIF Esports Initiative Championship presented by Omen, Nvidia, HyperX, and the United States Marine Corps. And I have made it work. State of California is coming up next. If you couldn't tell, they brought the big bucks. Because of that, we're going to have to give you a rundown of exactly how our format is going to play out. It's still a best of 3, one of our 29 state and regional championships here on Summoner's Rift. As we come to a close for our high school state championships, we have 2 more today, including California, and then 3 more the day after. And then we will be done, Matt.
Wow. That, it feels like it's been so short, TJ, but we've also been broadcasting for, I think, 3 days straight from this block. I can't count days anymore. I've lost track. All I know is esports.
That's how these last year has felt.
Yeah.
I was going to say how this last month or so has felt, but that isn't accurate. Let's head into the draft here in the state of California. We have 2 really exciting teams, Matt. We've seen Sunny Hills before, and overall, the entire state of California conference, as we did see in our Summer Showdown, is really strong.
Shoutouts to Newtnut. That's just such a great name. Just makes me happy to read it.
The Newtnut is back, baby. Harvard Westlake are taking the opposite side of the screen, the Wolverines, apparently. Sunny Hills Lancers have a full high school esports program. I remember that from the interview we did with them last time.
Mm-hmm. Wasn't Cal the player we interviewed?
Yes, I believe so.
Shoutouts to Cal. Solid person.
Unfortunately, as a result of the fact that they have a full esports program, they did not have time to fill out this spreadsheet, so we don't know what their university plans are. I was kind of hoping we had that information on hand.
Oh gosh, I'm trying to remember which one Cal was. I think their plan might have been collegiate. Hard to remember. Yeah, we did so many interviews that day,
which is a shame not being able to do interviews this time around. I really liked the interviews during the Summer Showdown. Let's talk about these bans, though, because they are dangerously good, Matt. This is like full-on meta. We're just watching Pro League of Legends right now. Echo will be first pick, Galio on the opposite side alongside Misfortune. Galio is a really good first pick because of the amount of flexibility there. Galio can be mid or support. Misfortune is a priority secure if you are proud of your Misfortune in the AD carry role. Leona will be on the opposite side.
I really like the
engage.
Yeah, I really like the Galio into the Echo though, because Echo can only obviously engage in melee range, and then you just shoop, pop him up with the taunt. Be very happy with that counter. Kale!
That is the most insane Kale art I've ever seen.
I think that
is that the old Kale art?
Yeah, I think that's the pre-rework splash.
We also have the pre-rework art for Mordekaiser and Morgana on this draft screen, so...
And Volley, I think. I really like the throwbacks. I miss those old splashes, honestly.
That's a really... Why did they get rid of that? That's a really good art.
Right? Because the new model has the weird, like, neoprene suit, and it was a really nice splash art, and I'm sad it's gone.
Anyway, Kale on the top side will provide a late-game win condition for Harvard Westlake. No matter what happens during the early game, the Kale will be game-ending if they get powerful enough. And the Sunny Hills, I think, are all right with that, given the draft they have so far. Jin spikes towards the mid lane, as does Leona, as does Echo. Ooh.
TJ, we got a Skarner pickup for whatever reason. I gotta do some research, so continue with the draft while I figure out what Skarner's doing these days, because I have not seen him in a long time.
Yeah, last time we saw Skarner was pre-item rework. He did see some play during one of the collegiate tournaments we were casting. That may have just been because Captain Flowers was casting it with you, though, Matt.
I think so. I think it was
probably mostly.
It always got banned because he was like, the one player was like, I'm going to play, because Captain Flowers is casting, I'm going to play Skarner, and it got banned 2 games in a row. It was really funny.
Scion for top side against that Kale. Echo will be passed to the jungle. It will be a Malzahar inside the mid lane to counter a Diana.
TJ,
Anti-dive on both sides.
look at the Galio. It's your favorite.
Yeah,
Galio supports back.
Galio. Support Galio makes a lot of sense here. You can play Galio mid right now. I have seen it. It is good. But support Galio is just legitimately a top tier support. At least as good as, say, Nautilus. So, yeah, makes perfect sense. Both these drafts are really good. Sunny Hills are going to want to win throughout the team fights in the mid game. Harvard Westlake are going to want to win in very late game with the Kale as an insurance policy. And I can't wait to find out. We're going to get right into the game. Matt, as we do so, tell me, who do you think won the draft?
I think it's a really confusing draft from Sunny Hills, honestly, but I do like it. I like the fact that as you get into the later stages of the game, you have a lot of safety coming out of it, especially with Barrack on that Kale. You have really good pick abilities coming into the post-level 6 ganks, which can set up your Diana, set up your Kale, set up your Misfortune for stronger late-game insurance. And I also like the build coming out from Sunchang on the Misfortune. I love Arcane Comet Misfortune. Don't know if it's going to be the Muramana, don't particularly care because I think it's good. And we found out, TJ, during my research, Skarner usually goes, unsurprisingly, Chem Tank.
That makes sense. Sorry, I've been distracted because this is also Arcane Comet Misfortune, as you said. And I was getting... my mind was racing with the combo with Galio actually being really strong here. Because Galio has a full CC cycle, rather like Leona, where the full CC cycle is just several seconds in duration of players not being able to move. And if your bullet rain, is that what it's called? Rain of bullets?
Make it rain.
Make it rain. If your make it rain is really amped up by AP Misfortune, which we are apparently starting, and this is really good.
Yeah, I think if you go like Imperial Mandate into Abyssal Mask for the Galio, it's just a guaranteed one-shot in bullet time as you get later into the game. Especially, I like Sunchang starting the tier, which signifies we are going to see the Muramana into either Gale Force or Eclipse, and just focusing on that bullet time damage, focusing on that late game scaling, focusing on the poke more than the one-shot lethality builds that Misfortune is generally more known for.
I would be surprised if we went Imperial Mandate on the Galio. Not to say it would be bad, but the majority, the tenor of competitive play has shifted away from Imperial Mandate on tanks these days.
Which is a shame,
because it is viable for tanks to tank now. At the very beginning of the new season, it was just impossible for tanks to take any hits because the item cost was too bad. So everyone was just playing tanks as basically assassin setups for their AD carries. These days, a few more options. Leona engage will happen. Nice double taunt from Newtna denies that. But Sunchang is very low.
No heal either. Opting for the cleanse instead in champ select, so that means harder to stay in lane as you get later on. But considering it's mostly centered around poke, mostly centered around the make it rain as you get some levels, it becomes easier to just CS from a distance as well. One small, tiny hidden advantage of this build.
I wasn't expecting this shove to be so powerful. So far, FBM2, FBM2 is really succeeding and just absolutely locking this Misfortune behind turret. You can see the CS lead building down there is actually kind of indomitable for Harvard.
Yeah, you normally see it the other way around, right? You normally see the Misfortune with the make it rain, shoving people under tower, poking them under tower, doing plenty of damage, but really good aggression coming out from Harvard Westlake. The one concern I have, though, is this opens them up to ganks, even pre-6. But Cal Cavalier has his eyes set on something else. Jungle 1v1.
Cal Cavalier pushing down the river. If they were able to find an opportunity there onto Mr. B. What great names here today.
Hello,
If they
my
were
name
able
is
to find
Mr.
an
B.
opportunity there onto Mr. B, that would have been the Drake basically guaranteed to go over. As Cal Cavalier did not find the opportunity, Cal Cavalier will back, reset in base, get their first back buy off. Now we're going to see a fight around that Drake. Any kills that happen in the next couple of seconds, in the next minute or so, have a immediate implication for that Drake.
Looking at the mid lane, though, this is something that I was genuinely wondering about. I'm surprised by how well Ray is doing. I know you have all-in potential in the Malzahar, and that's very scary, but it's a range into melee matchup, and I genuinely would have expected the Malzahar to have more of a run on things.
Fight will break down bottom. Newtnut with very good CC at range, and Mr. B just needs to back away. Okay, I want to acknowledge something before this Drake fight happens, because it will still develop, I think, into a proper fight. We'll see.
FBM is so low!
Getting first Drake here is a necessity for Sunny Health, because they want to go late. They want this Kale to be their late game insurance. So if they get first Drake, if they win this Drake fight now, they guarantee that Harvard Westlake can't rush for Drakes and have a win condition that way.
Yeah, and they're going to be able to secure it. Mountain Drake as well, really good for Cal Cavalier specifically, as he scales up into the later stages of the game. You want to shout out to Kale, who is down a little bit in CS, but still has not hit that level 6. And as soon as you hit level 6, that's the time where the pressure kind of ends for anyone laning into Kale, unless you're a heavy assassin, because she finally gets that range increase. She finally becomes a ranged champion without her E. So as soon as we see Barrick hit that, I suspect we're going to be seeing Red focus on roams, focus on finding a little bit more activation on the map elsewhere, because that's something that Kale can't really provide. But Scion quite capable of cross-map ganks.
Barrack is running a cull. If you were wondering exactly what the game plan is, well, I guess you've never seen a Kale before.
Yeah.
But,
Oh geez, that Kale sure is scaling.
Yep. Call her Lady Justice. She's got scales.
Sure. I'm not sure.
Right.
Not sure how that connects at all, but I'm going to give it to you.
Oh, the iconographic depiction of Justice is a woman, a blind woman with a set of scales. Because
Right. I was thinking
Justice
scales
is
is in,
blind.
like, lizards.
Oh,
Which, as you can understand, was a very confusing image, TJ?
I mean, maybe as well.
Maybe.
Lizards are pretty cool.
Justice is a scaly.
Justice is an iguana.
Oh, yeah. Good for Justice.
First track did go over several minutes ago, and now we're going to see an attempt down bottom. Good flash out from FBM2. If they had not burned flash there, they would be dead.
We've seen that kind of be the trend here in the bottom lane. FBM2 twice now caught with very little HP, forced under the tower, and I think it's finally turned here for Stoonchong and Newtnut. And I think we're going to struggle a little bit until we get to the mid game, because if you look at the itemization coming out from Stoonchong, it is going to be that Muramana first, which is good itemization. Like, that's a good item to build. But because you don't have your mythic early on, we've talked about this with Ezreal before, earlier in the day, it really begins to struggle. You know, because you just don't have as much power as someone who goes mythic first. That's the reality of the game right now, is that mythic first is for almost every champion superior itemization. So it's going to be a little rough. Oh, beautiful bullet time.
The trap is sprung. What a very good play from Sunny Hills. They just sit in the bush down bottom. Wait for the Harvard Westlake players to get a little bit too aggressive.
It was so
Slap
casual,
them down
too.
when they do.
It was so casual. Just unbelievably measured. Oh my god. They're going to go for it
You're
again.
not going to kill this Leona underneath turret. This isn't gonna happen.
You sure, TJ? They're gonna try.
It's not worth trying.
I think that's the more important distinction. Sunny Hills 100% would try. Caprock goes in, finds the engage, but a beautiful taunt coming out from the Galio will stop it. Soonchong in a lot of trouble. Teleport comes in from red for D. Soonchong, not long for this world. What I was talking about with the Scion roaming out of lane. Can't really do anything against the Kayle anymore, might as well affect the rest of the map.
The downside, of course, is that will give time for the Kayle to redouble their own lead in lane. I'd also like to address that during that time there was a successful mid-gank from Mr. B. Them and Pluto did manage to successfully kill Right.
Love that name. Eric, looking for damage onto Mr. B. Turret plate's still not taken, so...
You really went with it there.
I did. I felt it gave me Sean Connery energy, reaching from across the plane.
I thought you were going to say across the pond, and then...
Well, technically still true. Across the pond of existence, as they call it.
That is not what I've ever heard someone call death.
Well, you know what, TJ? You're just not hanging out with cool enough people, because that's a cool way to refer to it.
Someone who refers to death as the great pond of existence would be very cool. Also, probably kind of dangerous if you hung out with them at night.
Also, yeah.
Taunt will land. Bullet time as a result. Mr. B, no HP, will back away. Nukenut is still dead. FBM is one shot away from death. Soonchong trying to stay alive in the midst of this. We're able to turn Mr. B into stasis. Soonchong finally goes down, but the cavalry has arrived. Cal Cavalier grabs exactly 2 kills in trade, making this bot lane engagement, even on paper, and positive in analysis, as Sunny Hills lost their bot and support for a mid and jungle that were winning over on Harvard Westlake.
Now this means the solo can come out.
Oh, and turret as well.
Yep. Turret and Drake should come off the back of this. The one strength of Skarner, other than the Impale, which is a very powerful pick tool, is that he can, with the Shrine, solo objectives incredibly easily. Baron is another story, but can take down these Drakes with incredible ease. So all you need to do is create the space for Skarner to do so. So off the back of that play, Sunny Hill pick up the tower, the second Drake in a row, and their AD carry, sitting happily, finally has that Monomune completed, looking towards completing it. Looks like it'll be an eclipse for the Mythic this game.
So an incredibly good fight down bottom for Sunny Hills. And as a result, they're like, we're lagging. That's what I say when I win a fight.
Yeah, that's my excuse as well. So, mid-lag, guys, sorry.
I wouldn't have won that fight, but I was lagging, so don't worry about it. I'll go back to losing soon.
The light disappeared. I look like I'm underwater. Let's try and fix this.
So, we have had a saga over the course of the day where Matt has been like, there is an angel descending in front of him. This has a weird effect.
It's not right. There's something wrong with the lighting still. So what I do between games is I have a very
cheeks now.
Yeah, I have a very bright light behind my monitor, and that's how I do face lighting, because I can't rely on the overhead lights, because as you saw, it looks pretty atrocious. But the problem is my webcam intermittently decides that's okay, or sorry, your own lighting is not allowed. I'm going to decide what you look like. And it tends towards very, very pale skin. And angelic glows around my face, and I'm not really happy with it.
Earlier today, I was looking like a Cullen, is the comparison I make, because I tuned in. I did one show remote where the producer, upon me connecting, said, "Oh, TJ, I didn't know you were the vampire from Twilight." And ever since then, whenever the camera is a little bit rough, it's my go-to reference. Anyway. Earlier today, that was the camp I was in, but now that the sun's setting, we're on the same page. Lighting's getting better. Let's get into game number 1 of our state final here for California. The polls has resolved. we're back into it.
All right, Newt Nut, Pokin. Is that gonna be? That is definitely not a support mythic coming out of Newt Nut, TJ.
You're correct about that.
I don't know if it's gonna be Protobelt or Night Harvester. Both of them are equally terrifying.
I don't. So Protobelt's really good on mid Galio, but if you want to be a tank for your team, building Locket on Galio works really well. So Newt Nut is basically gambling that they're going to be fighting a decent amount during this early game and that they're going to win those fights, because that's the only way you get the gold to stay competitive with a mid method.
You know, so far I'd say they're pretty great. They've been able to secure a ton of objective victories, a ton of teamfight victories. So I think this is a decent bet here for Newt Nut. Meanwhile, on the top side, Barrick not opting for Mythic first, as is very common for Kale. It's probably going to be Nashor's Tooth and the Riftmaker. Oh boy, FBM2 is in a whole lot of trouble.
FBM2 will fall. Barrick claims that kill, all important mid lane. There is an ultimate in response, but taunt from Newt Nut will make this dangerous. Pluto is gone. A double kill to the Kale. Mr. B with the Chrono Break is trying to get away, but they're deep inside enemy territory. There is nowhere to go. There is nowhere to run. Mr. B. Oh! Finds a window. An opportunity over the wall of the Black
Cavalier finds it.
And I believed for a moment.
It's still going. Mr. B is still alive. Oh, all right.
That's actually really, really bad for Harvard Westlake, because all three of those kills just went to the Kale.
Yeah. She's now huge. I mean, to be fair, you get a turret for it, so like the stall at the end at the very least was pretty good. But that is going to be a massive Kale. I mean, she can't handle the Scion 1v1 just yet. Shouldn't be able to kill at least. But as soon as she gets second item, this is devastating.
Yeah, I would be very worried if I were on Harvard Westlake about the size of that Kale.
Who can threaten her at this point? You know, once she gets the Leeching Leer off her next back. Good to know.
Smoothie maker? Do people still do kale smoothies, or was that like a fad?
That's a good question. Probably like in very healthy. I know the gym my mom goes to has a smoothie bar.
I live in San Francisco, California.
I feel like you should know this.
Yeah.
So I'm sure they do, TJ. It's a superfood, don't you know?
My mother works as a yoga teacher in Menlo Park, California. Honestly, she would probably know. She'd probably know.
Call her on break. Mom, I'm on air. Do they still do kale smoothies?
What's up with kale these days? It's very important for my esports. I did caution at the very beginning of the game that the later this went, the better it was for Sunny Hills. I still think that's true, and I think they're getting their way. Harvard Westlake may seem to be making progress in the moment, but they are losing overall.
Chong able to escape that entire onslaught alive. Newt Nut incredibly low, ticking down from the Ignite, but knocked down. Very importantly, huge bullet time. FBM2 just walks into it. Family Pluto in a whole lot of trouble. The Impale follows it up. Soonchong has the damage. The double kill there for Barrick. 5-0-0 on this Kale, and I don't think she's stopping anytime soon. The Nashor's Tooth Leeching Leer combo is too strong to stop.
And I don't think we're even going to need the late game. Sunny Hills get those mid-game team fights, hit the gas pedal, and they are not going to be running out of fuel anytime soon.
They've hit level 11 on the Kale as well. She is the highest level in the game, I would like to point out. And she is really rolling with it. It's going to be able to give her the ascended waves on her autos, which means she's going to be doing a ton of AoE in team fights now, as well as being able to split push like a monster. So this is really concerning. Family Pluto as well in a whole lot of trouble.
Old Cal Cavalier back in for the kill. Here comes Barrick around the side. Pluto will go down. That was a deep dive from Newt Nut. There will be an attempt to grab Sunchang, but enough CC from Cal Cavalier that Red 4D will fold. Newtnut in the meantime was occupying the entire enemy scene. Curtain Cole, ooh, with the solar flare, could be dangerous. Backline dive. This is all on Barrack, but so far, so good for Barrack.
One more.
They're just kiting. Oh, there's no way out of this. Sunchang's just running.
Sunchang, run!
Has
Sprint.
no way to get this. They're just trying to avoid giving more gold to Barrack. That is all that Leona was trying to do.
I think it's too little too late though, TJ. She's 6-0-3. She should have her mythic when she backs next. She's chasing for FBM too. She's got flash still.
Over the wall.
This is bad. FBM
There's
2's
no
just
way
gone.
out. That is doom.
Oh, I feel that deep in my bones, TJ. That is every time I play against Kale. She just runs you down, and there's no way to stop her as an AD carry.
And this may be a rather fast late game win condition.
It's just a game win condition at this point. It's just over. She has overheal as well. So she's just healing extra every time she autos with the Leeching Leer.
Yeah.
Oh.
6,000 gold lead, devastating Kale in the top lane, 3 Drakes to their name, Sunny Hills High School. There's no way to overstate it. This game is theirs to lose.
Mm-hmm. It is still possible to lose, though. Worth pointing out. But it would take...
How?
They have to make a lot of mistakes, DJ.
Okay. Please explain. Do you think Barrack loses a 1v3?
Who are the 3?
Pick them.
I think Barrack actually survives through all of them because there's no burst outside of FBM 2.
Yeah. So, okay, let's go a step further. Do you think Barrack loses a 1v4?
Maybe because then the chain CC is long enough to actually take down the kill.
I think you're wrong, but there we go. Right up top, staying ahead of Red. In the meantime, Shaprock is just getting stalled out, and here comes Barrack. Like the boulder in the Temple of Doom, Barrack rolls downhill. And there is Sunchang as well for a full bullet time. Ray has just been successfully dueling Sion in the meantime. Now we'll call in the assistance.
Boom!
Newtnut's on speed dial. 20 kills now to Sunny Hills. And this looks like the scariest part of Harvard Westlake's current team is Red 4D's zombie.
They were legitimately the closest anyone has ever come to killing someone in a team fight on the side of Sunny Hills.
And
so.
they almost killed Cal Cavalier like 2 fights ago.
The real carry. This is warded and there's no smite for Cal Cavalier, so that's one way back in the
Cal
game.
Cavalier's 1 HP, so I'm like worried. Mr. B
I
for
trust
the
him.
steal. Let's go, Mr. B. To save the day. Over
Found
the
the
wall!
steal! Over the
Huge
wall!
steal!
Mr.
Barrack
B.
will shut him down immediately afterwards, so congrats. But a steal and a kill nonetheless on the Cal Cavalier as well. What Harvard Westlake needed to stay in this game.
You were asking how they win, TJ. That's step 1.
It was a very sketchy take. That was just like ridiculously overconfident from Sunny Hills.
To be fair, if there's any team that should be ridiculously overconfident at this point, it's Sunny Hills. They have a 9-0-5 Kale.
Right. But like, why hand the other team a Baron? Like, I get it. It was just that nobody cared, because even now with the Baron handed over, it's not going to make a huge difference, and I think the game is roughly still in the same state.
Baron forces the minions to push in faster, so you can get
Okay.
more farm onto Barrack.
You are not wrong.
All I'm saying, strategic. To anyone at home who doesn't play League of Legends, that is completely inaccurate. It's technically correct, but...
Technically correct, but there's no team would ever do it. My kind of... Sorry, can I get distracted?
Go for it.
You said strategic, and it gave me a flashback to one co-caster I had, who will not be named, who insisted on saying strategical. And every time they said it,
If I met this co-caster?
No.
Oh,
I just wanted to, like, not commit violence. I'm not a violent person.
which is
That's
like
what I
maybe
thought to
casually
myself
toss him a
after they
dictionary.
said strategical. I was like, you're non-violent. Anyway, my concern is that there is still literally nothing that can kill Barrack at current game state, and Barrack is not going to get less powerful.
Oh my god, Cal. That is a speedy
Lashing
scorpion.
Red will stay ahead of all this, but you can see exactly how much damage they're getting dealt. This is for the soul. This would be an Infernal Drake soul.
For a Kale.
For a Kale.
Who's 9-0-5.
Who's 9-0-5.
Now there's a Rift Herald mid. There's just a lot of things going wrong for Harvard
Now
Westlake.
there's a Rift Herald mid. Drake up. They're just going to let that Rift Herald go.
Oh
And
my god, what an
the
engage.
Moonfall bullet time combo! That is genuinely disgusting. Kale not even required. Triple kill for Sunshang. Rift Herald, by the way, still doing its thing. Just died after taking a turn to mid. Let's see, can Mr. B do it again? No.
This is solo out from the support, by the way. Not really popping off.
Remember when I was like, this is kind of sketchy because it requires Newtnut to like get a lot of teamfight kills. He is 4, 3, and 13.
That's a lot of teamfight kills, TJ.
He colored in the sketch, and as a result, has just built a mid lane build, and it's working just fine.
Fine enough to be able to bring them up 1-0 in a second here. California Conference.
For the game. Here goes Gunny Hill. Impale will land, and that is an easy kill onto FBM2. We're going to lose Red 4D as well. You see the damage that Barrack is dealing, and you cower. You cover your eyes in terror. This is actually very devastating again. Mr. B will try to break away. Barrack ignores it all, focuses in on the Nexus. That ought to be the game. That will be the game. Mr. B with dive, can't stop all this. And Sunny Hills are 1-0 up in their state final.
I think that was just a masterclass from Sunny Hills. I don't really have any criticism for them other than one over-aggressive play. But Baron steal aside, I think it was a really clean game from them. I think they did a really good job of snowballing the kill, setting her up for success, and then rotating down to the bot lane and doing the same thing there. I think Cow Cavalier just had a fantastic game. Barrack on the back of it as well. Nobody on that team performed poorly.
Sunny Hills team fighting that game was just solid. Like, I would put that team against any of the teams we have in the Face It circuit in Tier 3 in North America. I would put that team, like, solid among those people.
Mm-hmm.
That was a very, very good showing from Sunny Hills. If you would like very good showings, if you want your graphics to be good, I got news for you. The CIF Esports Initiative Championships are presented by Omen and NVIDIA. Professional-grade Omen gaming PCs with NVIDIA GeForce RTX graphics help players take their game to the next level. Visit hp.com/go/esports for more information and special education pricing. I need it for school, I swear. We'll be right back. Game number 2 in 5 minutes as our California Conference Finals continues after this. Welcome back to the Play vs. Fall 2020 CIF Esports Initiative Championship presented by Omen, NVIDIA, HyperX, and the United States Marine Corps. My name's TJ.
And I'm Niberia, and that was a long name for our event, but you know what? It's all important, TJ.
And I have it written down. If it were,
That's
if
smart.
it were the name for all of the other regions as well, I would have to actually memorize it, but there's just no way I can, so we're rolling with it. You know what else we're rolling with? We're rolling into this other ad, because I gotta tell you about data impressions.
Tell me.
Data impressions is paving the way for esports in California high schools, from PCs and peripherals to esports classroom design. Let data impressions help your school. Visit us today at dataimpressions.com/esports for the latest in technology and tournament services. That's dataimpressions.com/esports. Data Impressions, the official technology solutions provider of the CIF Esports Initiative.
A DI Technology Group Inc. company.
Yes.
I just felt like I had to contribute.
Okay.
You know, because
Do you
you get
feel
to
like
do
you've
you get to do all the ad reads, and you know I
Do you-
want to help. You know.
Okay, so we've got a HyperX one coming up after the game. If I send you the text now, do you want to do it?
Yeah, I'll do it.
Let me get that to you. Talk about the draft.
Oh, right. Yeah, draft happening. Darius ban, Hecarim ban. Nothing related to the last game, so we're golden. I would like to see the Kale ban come out. It is coming out from Harvard Westlake. Very smart. That said, I'm not sure how much the Kale itself was the reason that was a problem. It's hard for me because usually on a scaling champion that has a rough early game, I say, on a champion that had a stronger early game, that would have been exactly as much of a problem. But I don't think that's the case this time because Kale was so incredibly powerful. Like, that was really just a 1v5 level performance. I'm not sure that the champion pick was there, but I understand the need to ban it.
I do think that game would have been dominant for Sunny Hills no matter what they had in the top lane. You checking to see if you have your HyperX text now.
I do.
But I also think that the Kale was just insurmountable. Like, we were talking about it in-game, there was just no way back into that game once the Kale got 4 kills. As far as picks go for this one, the adjustment to ban Kale meant that Nunu slips through the draft and Sunny Hills will have it over on Cow Cavalier. I'm certainly of the opinion that Nunu is one of the best junglers in the game right now on teams that want to play aggressive and team-fighty in the mid-game. Believe it or not, that is what this comp is going for. We got Leona and Nunu. That pretty much decides it's a team-fight comp for Sunny Hills.
I think it's really cool, too, for Sunny Hills, the way they played last game. They focused so heavily on objectives, which is, like, on one hand, objectively the correct way to play, but also they played to it.
Objectively.
Yeah, I'm hilarious, TJ. But I think doubling down on that tendency is really powerful, especially for Cow Cavalier. I mean, just at level, 3 or 4, your total smite damage, instead of being just the smite at, 530 or whatever, goes up by double, just because of Nunu's consume being so powerful. And that translates into the later stages of the game as well when it comes to Baron. So similar to the way Skarner was used that game, I would say the objective presence was more of a piece of utility from that Skarner than the Impale itself. Normally you pick Skarner, you're like, I'm going for picks. But Cow Cavalier was like, look, I just want to take the dragon real quick. I'm gonna go.
Skarner as a jungler didn't, I don't even think we saw any Skarner ganks.
We saw maybe one at most.
And it was Skarner was really effective in team fights. Cow Cavalier was doing that, but until it came time for team fights, there wasn't a whole lot of that. We get Fizz in mid lane, which I see you're excited about. We haven't talked at all about the Harvard Westlake draft, though, so I want to touch on it all real fast.
Fine.
It's Echo, Bard, Jhin, Sion, and Olaf. So the Olaf will be in the jungle. The Echo takes Fizz on in the mid lane. We get Bard down bottom, which seems kind of risky, into a Leona Misfortune lane. I think leaving your Jhin alone is dangerous, so it's going to be a Guardian Bard, and I don't know that Guardian Bard can deal with Leona pressure.
No, I think Bard's in a weird spot as well. Post-item rework, you are a very big Bard aficionado, if not much of a player of Bard anymore. And I know that from talking to you, the active item removals really has, I'm going to say, hampered the playmaking potential of Bard. There were a lot of things you could do before that you can no longer. You still have decent itemization, but...
Yeah, it's a little bit better now that supports can earn money again. There was the, 2 weeks where supports were just broke. And that was really rough for Bard because he needs cash. He's got to pay off all his chimes. But he now can run Imperial Mandate, and he's one of the better Imperial Mandate champions because he has damage in his own right, and the Imperial Mandate just couples really well with it. You get the AP scaling. So I think he's one of the better engaged enchanters. I would not say that on his own he is top tier right now, but he's certainly viable. Let's head into game. It's time for game number 2. Sunny Hills, of course, in a 1-game lead. If they win this one, they are your California state champions. Sorry. They are your California Play vs. Full 2020 CIF Esports Initiative champions, presented by Omen, NVIDIA, HyperX, and the United States Marine Corps.
There you go. That's the proper readout, TJ. Thank you for that. Just waiting for the adjustment.
People might not know what they were the champions of.
Oh, good. I'm interested in talking about this top lane a little bit because we didn't get to touch on it in draft.
You were interested in talking about HyperX, and I was just ready.
No, that's for after the game, TJ.
Oh, okay.
I'll be interested. I'll be super interested in HyperX and all their gaming peripherals in about 20 to 25 minutes. I'm expecting this one to go a little short.
Okay, tell me more about how short you think it's going to go.
I think given the way that Sunny Hills played last game, this composition accelerates a lot further, especially with the Fizz, the Wukong. If they're able to get a lead early, they're going to be able to punish a lot onto Harvard Westlake because all of their champions, sans like Scion and maybe Bard, really need to get ahead in order to do anything, in order to have any presence in the later stages of the game. So I think if Sunny Hills are able to do what they did last game and have a fantastic early game, it's kind of just over for Harvard Westlake.
I think Harvard Westlake do have a better early game than they had last game, and they do have a strong mid game as well. They actually have a really good mid game team fight right now. I do agree with you that they fall off late game. So if the same thing happens again, then Sunny Hills will, I believe, win the late game. But it's more complicated than CKL lose late game, which was where we were at last time.
That was definitely easier.
Sunny Hills are going to have to get gold onto their bot lane, get gold onto their Fizz and Nunu, and win proper team fights. And they can't just rely on the fact that no matter what, the Kale will win the video game.
That said, I think we saw last game that Soonchong is very, very comfortable on this misfortune.
And they have Leona now?
Yeah. It's just a better version of that bot lane. You're going to be scaling up once again. You're going to be waiting for the later stages of the game with the tier start. But that's all okay. This is... Your first back sucks. But the later you go without being completely railroaded, so to speak, the better. Very good root combo.
Yeah. Very, very good time for Bard down bottom. I wanted to call out, I was kind of wondering how this Wukong experience would be. It is Cull Wukong.
Yeah, I don't think as Wukong you get to fight the Scion for a long while. So I think the call start's really good. You're not going to be poked out by the Scion either. As much as you can't hurt him, he can't really hurt you, as we just saw in that engage.
The Scion is just as afraid of you.
Hold your arms out to look big.
Okay, I'm going to hold this thought because Newtnut wants something down bottom here. What? Where was that Zenith blade going?
Not to FBM2, that's for sure.
But also not to Shaprock. He's got another one. He's got another one.
Come on, Newtnut. No, don't turn away now. There we go. Newtnut got it. FBM2 forced to back off.
Forced to walk backwards.
The walk of shame. Shaprock in a lot of trouble.
As well. And that one's actually dangerous. Shamrock does have a very long portal that can throw from down there.
Ooh, good make it
but
rain positioning.
FBM2
Flash auto.
has nothing
Ignite.
left. And Shamrock, did he have a heal pack? He's level 3. He should have.
There's one on the ground next to the turret.
There's one on the ground right where he died. So he did try and heal pack FPM2, but he couldn't keep up with the ignite. Now, here comes Willump.
This is new erasure, and I won't stand for it, TJ.
Una is not doing anything.
He's throwing snowballs. He's trying his best.
That's adorable, but I'm not scared of a kid with snowballs. And I think Willump ought to get the shortened name.
We'll talk with Ryan about it.
I don't negotiate with people who don't respect Willump.
Okay, I understand. It'll be an underground movement then.
Under the snow action. Flash under the turret. Ray does have the kill. Will die immediately afterwards. Doing what he loves.
Oh, beautiful gank there by Cal Cavalier. I guess this is why the Nunu was banned out last game. Just going from objective to objective, and this is literally the same way Cal Cavalier pathed last game, but this time got snowballs.
Remember the last game when you were like, man, that Skarner sure is really fast, but it took him like most of the game to get to that point.
Mm-hmm.
With Nunu, you can just be really fast right out of the gate.
You just start there.
That's why people play Nunu. The thing that gives League of Legends players the most feeling of power is being fast.
It's true. Movement speed is the best stat.
This is like maybe the sketchiest pause I've ever seen.
But the reasoning is so... I'm so happy about it. Ray apparently complained about a ping spike. And then Barrick's like, yeah, sorry. Our mid laner had a ping spike. Also, I'm really dead. Frowny face.
You know, Barrack definitely is dead, but you're not allowed to pause in the middle of a fight. It won't matter, because as Barrack notes, he's just gonna die, so who cares? I appreciated that we came back a little bit early. I forgot to sit down. It's not on our producer. But you got to see that I stand up to cast.
You do. I've tried it. It's great, but also I have a standing desk and I like to adjust it when I stand up and down. And doesn't quite work. In time.
Some real William Shatner delivery there.
I didn't really like my standing desk, but
What's up with your blue headphones? Are these just like, because you normally use speakers?
These are
new.
I normally use speakers, yeah. So these are the cheapest headphones on the market that are actually good. They're called Xiaomi Pistons. They're my favorite. If you're looking for really quality headsets, I'd recommend our sponsor, HyperX. But if you're looking for a knockaround pair, this is what I have. And I also have an extension cable that goes for like another 6 feet because of aforementioned desk, so I can stand up and like walk away with the headphones.
Where are you going?
I don't know. That's the thing, TJ. I got options.
All right. Speaking of options, let's get back into the video game. The pause has been resumed, and I think the most important option is the one that takes us back to game. Hi, Varric. Uh-oh.
I'm over here now, TJ, and I can still hear you.
What's it like over there?
Cold.
Oh!
Damn that warmer. I have a blanket. I like the cat.
Warmer closer to your computer desk.
I disconnected the cord, TJ. This is the fallback. This is the problem with the headphone setup. We're good now. Everything's fine. I cast with a blanket on my lap because it's comfy. The only advantage of casting from home.
I
I really am
hope
just a walking disaster. You just cannot process it, can you?
Oh, okay, hold this thought, because Mr. B would like to kill Barrack, but Barrack, with a very good use of the clone, manages to stay ahead of that. So what was so shocking to me was that I posited there was no point in you having a 16,000-mile headphone cord because there was nothing else in the room for you to do, and you then proceeded to prove my point.
Well, TJ, you know, it's nice to be able to hear the producer when I'm going up to get, like, water or something. Grab something from off screen. If I need to stretch. The real reason, though, is that my tower is really short, and this headphone cord is really short, and the shortest extension cable they had was 6 feet.
Okay. Red will have a new
Barrack.
friend here in the top lane. Two of them, actually. Nunu and Willem. Cavalier to keep Barrack alive, and meantime, down bottom, Nimsnut is starting fight.
And quickly ending them. Need to get out there from Newtnut, who's
dear.
being chased down as Cow Cavalier dives under the tower. Newtnut gets ignited. Undertow will not land. A little bit more damage is all that's needed. Dodges the undertow. The flash from Shaprock will not land.
Oh,
No!
this'll get him. Curtain Cole. It does not get him. Now here comes Shaprock around this side. Mr. B underneath the turret will find both kills and survive the turret. However, Westlake, after a dramatic series of turns, end up finding the kill.
This is a really messy game here for Sunny Hills. I mean, Harvard Westlake, shout out to them for just traveling around the map, consecutively finding kill after pick after pick after fight. But
Yeah!
Barrack?
He's multitasking! Chrono Break makes this dangerous. The Barrack
Oh
still
my
got
God.
the kill. Red is doing so much damage right now, though.
Ray
Mommy
wants to go
Cinder
in.
burning away at Barrack's HP, and Ray, as you say, is hovering. Circling like a shark, appropriately enough, but scared of going in. So, in that top lane kill where Red just, like, blew up Cow Cavalier, they didn't have Mommy Cinder. Literally, the only items inside their inventory were steel caps and corrupting potion, and they like two-shotted Willem.
Science-based damages are gross. Hit that ward in the bot lane. That double ward in the bot lane. Okay. Did they not see it? Okay, they saw it. Cool.
Bad time. I wonder why that particular bush is warded.
Gosh, no wonder.
After last game.
Couldn't have anything to do with the mysterious bullet time out of the bush.
I think it did. Hex Flash. Hex Flash!
Newt
There's nobody nearby. Soonchug is like 6 miles away.
Bullet
But
time.
it does not matter. He travels 6 miles.
It's the bullet bush.
Uphill and downhill. That's right, he's taking him to school. Bullet time finds the kill.
You had the stereotype of old people saying that too? I thought that might be like a local thing. I don't know why I thought it would be a local
It's an
thing.
international thing.
Yeah. I don't know why I thought it would in any way be local, but apparently it's awash as local, so.
I don't think. I just never heard of it. Absolute Zero doesn't find anything up here. Pluto dies over the wall. In the meantime, down
New
bottom,
nut!
chaos is happening. New nut!
Newt Nut!
No!
From Newt Nut to No Nut.
You're not allowed.
That's not what I meant. He's gone, TJ. There's no nut left. They have excised Newt Nut from the game.
Blue team has slain the dragon.
I mean, he's not
Oh.
happy about it. He doesn't want to be dead in a tower.
Hi.
What?
That's my worst experience with nuts. That's how it relates.
Yeah, I don't think I've had pecan pie.
good. Sucks.
But you hate it.
Solar Flare instead of played down bottom. Only another kill to Sunny Hills as this game has been delightful so far.
This is just wild, TJ.
If you want, we've been doing this a couple of days. If you're wondering why our sanity is so easily broken, but it has also been broken by the utter chaos brought onto the Rift by a roaming top lane Wukong and Sion. Nunu just, I don't even think they're roaming. I think Cow Cavalier is just temporally present in all lanes simultaneously.
Schrodinger's Cow Cavalier. Until it is observed, he's both there and not there.
And like both those bot lane fights recently, Cow Cavalier was in lane, ganking, and it didn't really matter because the fight was over before they got there, but they were like there. And then we cut to mid lane. Guess who's there? Cow Cavalier. So figure that one out.
I think Cow Cavalier is just a good jungler. I think I have figured it out.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm not familiar with that.
That's true. I was gonna be like, but I play jungle. A, I don't, and B, even if I did, it wouldn't be good.
Rift down some of them, and if they can get a plate off this turret. But guess who's here, baby? Cow Cavalier!
Woo!
That's right! Not gonna be able to stop the Rift Herald charge.
He's Cow Caval here.
That's so good, man! How long have you been sitting on that one?
Exactly 0.5 seconds before saying it.
I'm gonna buy you a Cow Caval beer.
Oh, nice. I'm 21 and over, so it's okay.
I don't think you have to clarify that.
I feel like I should. Just for the audience at home, if the FCC is watching.
Right, but... Okay.
I just like doing my due diligence, DJ.
Like, how did they expect? They totally expected.
We're totally 100% ready.
Harvard Westlake, we're not going anywhere near that bush.
I love how they keep doing it. I love how they keep going, like, you know what?
This time.
This time they'll step in.
It worked during game number 1, and that is why it will never work again. I will note that Sunchong, like, despite that particular strategy not working, is up 3 kills in the lane. I'm gonna hold my count for a second. This might become a counting cast. Just 3 kills. We remain on 3. He's up 3 kills in the lane, as well as like 40 CS.
Mm-hmm. And a stacking monomune. Like, the thing is, FBM, normally how this matchup goes is the person with the mythic is going to do so much better than the person with the monomune. Because
Sunchong hasn't even spiked yet. Power spike is when that monomoon finishes and they get their mythic.
yeah, and the counterpoint though is like FBM should be at a power spike here, but they've been denied so much gold and so much experience that they don't even have Gale Force yet. They finally finish it. And it won't even be an advantage at this point. It's been so long.
So where, you might ask, is the gold? Because these two teams are dead even in gold. So like, what's going on with that? And there is decent CS in the mid lane. There is decent farming happening from Family Fluo, but all of the gold is above him on the map. It is Mr. B and Red 4D, who, Red 4D, you might remember, got like 2 really, really good kills up in the top lane, already in the Mythic, dominating a CS, 40 CS lead of their own. And then in the jungle, Mr. B is 3-1 with a big CS lead in the jungle. So that's what Harvard have.
Oh my god. Red 4D, just the shield is enough to prevent any trading. And the Wukong is just decimated by it.
Cow Cavalier's back. Oh, this
Oh my
is dirty!
God.
You can't do that to people.
Gross! Uh-oh. Sunchong in a little bit of trouble. Jaffrock will find this done. Double root comes out. Maybe finally some revenge coming out from the bottom
Ignite?
lane. Curtain Call comes out alongside the Ignite.
He's still up!
Sunchong's up! Sunchong lived!
So John lived! Up like 1 HP! And in the meantime, Mr. B's trying to get revenge. Ray over the wall will be safe. Cow Cavalier was cutting in. buying time while the rest of his team secures the kill zone. Shamrock down bottom. Cow Cavalier will stun up Mr. B and set up for Barrack. Red 4D is the real boss back.
Teleport.
Teleport in. This could get dangerous, actually, for Sunny Hills. They need to leave Red 4D alone because, as Barrack well knows, you do not win that fight.
It's really funny for me because the entire rest of the team's doing really great, and then you
Why are
look
you
at...
going for this?
Uh-oh.
This is, you don't have a smite. Surely not Barrack. Right on in. Bullet time's there. The bullet time actually doing
Doesn't do anything to Red
damage
4D.
for Red 4D. Already has a kill. That's going to make it a
One
1-1
more.
trade. Could get worse. Flash needs to be burned. Barrack in trouble as well from the zombie. Will survive.
Oh my god,
It's
triple
okay,
for Soonchong.
because Soonchong is just terrifying. A quadra. Not the ace. Through the
Come
portal.
on. Find the
Onto
penta.
Shamrock. No!
Hey!
Yeah!
Penta kill!
Penta kill for Soonchong.
That wraps it up, TJ. I think we're done here.
All right.
I think that's the game. Let me go get some tea. DJ's just gone. That's okay. Told him it was over. Yep, no worries. Go back soon. I got the HyperX read unlocked, so. Soonchong,
I just got
8-1 and
I got
2.
a text from our producer, Pine. She was like, get back here right now or you're fired.
Oh,
So,
what a buzzkill. This game casts itself from here on out. 8-1 and 2.
you know
Soonchong.
what? Well, okay. So at the very beginning of the game, I said Soonchong needs to get out ahead, and that is Sunny Hills' win condition. And spoiler alert, Sunny Hill did get Soonchong out ahead. But you know what they haven't done necessarily? Won this game. Because Red 4D and Mr. V are still real big.
I'm wondering how you deal with that as this team. I think for Soonchong, you just have to rush Lord Dominic's at this point. Because it
Well,
like
I don't-
sucks his itemization.
Right, so here's the thing.
You
They
just
are the
ignore him?
only people playing the video game for Harbor.
Mm-hmm.
Trying to break for Family Pluto. Speaking of, like, Family is 0-5, right? Like, the mid lane Ray isn't doing great, but he's 2-2-2, and he's doing all right in CS. So, if you compare the way the players that are losing lane are doing for Sunny Hills to the players that are losing lane on Harvard Westlake, that's where the actual difference is.
Mm-hmm.
In terms of players that are out ahead, it's kind of scary all around. If you're on Harvard, you're looking at, oh lord, how can we get Soonchong at the very beginning of the next team fight? And I think the answer to that is Echo. I think the answer to that is Family Pluto needs to get that kill.
Good luck at this rate, though. They tried last fight. And Soonchong just managed to survive through every skill shot in the game.
Wild.
It was really
know-
just...
Just DDR'd like 3 curtain call shots.
And then the last one was interrupted because they just killed FBM. I want to see Soonchong in a fight now post buying things after that pentakill.
Well, I've got terrible news for you. We're never going to have another team fight.
I think that makes sense for Harvard Westlake.
We did see a turret grabbed there on mid by Sunny Hills. So they would like to close out this series. That is worded. Mr.
Fun
B.
fact.
You might be able to notice by the giant Yeti with a snowball running at you. It's an indication.
It's subtle, but it's there.
Where's Waldo? We'll figure it out. He's so fast!
I wonder if he's gonna go Dead Man's Plate second.
I think he would be a coward if he didn't.
I agree. You heard us, Coward Cavalier.
Ought to go Dead Man's Plate. Doesn't even have Moby Boots. It's still caps, which makes
Yeah,
a
it's
lot
Dead
of
Man's
sense
second.
versus Ola.
After Dead Man's second.
Or it could be Force of Nature.
True, but like the only source of AP damage is Family Pluto, who is to put a pin on it, useless.
Yeah, but I want to see Force of Nature. I want to see him move fast in the fights as well.
Yeah, I don't think I've actually seen. Have you seen Force of Nature yet?
Nobody's built Force of Nature, but no, that's not true. When I was watching Demacia last night, players built Force of Nature, but then the game was over.
Oh, so maybe it was just Lamal. Look how ahead I am. I can build Force of Nature.
Yeah, Chinese players do that.
I miss LPL Oscar night. Did you ever hear the tale of that?
Will be falling. I'm going to talk about this in a hot second.
They're uncontested.
Also,
Oh, well, they should be uncontested. But
grabbing a drink. Tell me about. Actually, no, they're going for the Baron.
No, all right, they're doing things.
Why are they just? I suppose they're just bored. Sunny Hills figure, what can Harvard do?
Oh my God, Ray!
Not much.
Shark goes wide.
Shark would have gotten the kill, 100%.
Ray's still
Well,
going.
Ray, Ray thought about it.
I respect it from Ray. That's how you play Fizz. That's how I play Fizz. I'm not a great Fizz, but I have a lot of fun.
That's what really.
That's right.
Except in this state final, Ray is now in trouble.
Nah. Yeah.
Nope, they don't want a piece of it.
Which is weird, because it's not like Ray's super fed.
No,
Don't get me wrong, Ray's out ahead.
No, but also Ray is in their power spike, and Olaf doesn't really have the tools to kill. Like, you're not. This is a Leona with Gargoyle and Stoneblade situation, right? Where they probably could have killed Ray, but they had no vision in the entire enemy jungle, and it would have taken so long to chase down Ray just because they're playing Fizz.
Yeah.
The season where Leonas were just building Gargoyle Stoneplate first item, and every single LPL teamfight started with one team engaging onto a Leona with Gargoyle Stoneplate. And you were just like, you're not gonna kill this Leona.
Sorry, it's not happening.
Here's the Baron we promised. There was definitely an effort towards it from Sunny Hill, then they decided, wait, there's no reason for us to go for Baron. Harvard are not going to get more into this game and just head towards late game and pressure them and grow the lead.
They're really just
Grow it
chilling,
by
TJ.
now.
They're just relaxing
Nope.
through this mid game. Oh, never mind.
No, you're right.
There. They stopped relaxing, TJ, and they want to keep us on our toes. I appreciate
They
it.
all avoid the Tamper Fate. Here comes Sion.
Red 4D. Engaged. There's a beautiful bullet time into the backline. Red 4D in a lot of trouble, but has so much health. Soonchong finally able to take him down, but that means zombie form is out and terrifying. Waiting for the
it's not the
Soonchong.
Soonchong.
Soonchong's
Oh,
just
he
gonna
threw it!
die.
The zombies! That's what really gets you. Mr. B, in the meantime, chopping away at Ray and Newtnut, will be able to find the kill. The Harvard Westlake may have found a turn as Barrack is stunned. Shaprock will be able to get away. Barrack's actually real scary right now. No! He doesn't run away, he turns back. Mr. B inside the jungle did not manage to chase down Ray. So it's not exactly the clean win that Harvard Westlake were hoping for. But Sunny Hills are still at least rebuffed. There is that shutdown onto Soonchong actually also goes on to Red 4D, so it's even better.
Just a casual question, TJ.
Yeah.
When did Barrack get 7-1? How did that happen?
It was during the first roam fight down in the bot lane. That really messy one around the Drake. Barrack got 4 kills during that. And I remember noting it at the time because I was just like, oh, he's not losing anymore.
Yeah, suddenly in the game.
Everything that happened in that lane now no longer matters.
Which is wild. Because Red 4D is still massive. I think
Also-
Barrack can theoretically take him down, though.
He was playing with Cull, so around that time he also sold Cull and was just like, what? I'm Bill Gates now.
How to experience Windows ME.
Dwayne The Rock Johnson is here to hand out the first death.
What such a wild. Teleport comes in, red 4D, does a ton of damage. Sun Chung has to flash away.
Curtain call. Sun Chung, the explicit focus. It is disgusting. Flash over the wall. Sun
Chung's alive for now.
Absolute Zero will be dropped. Sun Chung quick to follow. Shamrock does go down. Red 4D in the middle of this fight is trying to get a target. Barracks just working away at him. Red 4D onto Count Cavalier as well. Can't find the damage. It turns out 4 players is enough. Barrack with a quadra kill will close out the fight, close out the Scion. Just like that, Sunny Hills have an indomitable lead. There is now nobody over on Harvard Westlake who can contest.
This is a crazy game, TJ, because the carry has suddenly pivoted to the top laner who is just kind of chilling for most of it. Barrack has managed to turn this performance, which was a really rough early lane, lots of disadvantages, only 1 death to be fair, but that lane was going incredibly poorly, and now Barrack out 11-1, able to turn the entire game around.
I mean, there's no lane, there's no matchup you can look at and be like, ah, that's going well for Harvard Westlake. And it's been because Sunny Hills looked pretty scary in the laning phase. You could see they were putting a lot of emphasis on Sun Chung. Then we got out of the laning phase, and they've just been roaming around the map as 5 players taking fights like madmen.
Yeah. Just not, it doesn't matter if they win or lose, they're just taking them. But they're winning.
You gotta fight
that's the important
too bad.
thing.
You're not allowed to have a fight. Sunny Hills want to take it from you.
Sunshine is like no longer doing a ton of damage. That is the one thing I will note.
That was under Mr. B, who's actually the only positive member. So you can evaluate that.
To the people that matter. I don't think killing Shamrock is particularly impressive at this point.
This is a huge combo. Absolute Zero to try and stabilize. It'll be interrupted. A big curtain call with Red 4D on the front lines. And now, can they kill Barrack?
That's a lot of damage. Still alive for now. Ray looking to chase as well. Barrack looking for the pivot back into the front line. Goes invisible. Finds the kill. Huge Gore Drinker proc on the back of it as well.
God.
Ray re-engages as well. Mr. B doing so much damage. May finally take down Barrack. And now Ray, last one standing for Sunny Hills, will be forced to back off. I said will be forced to back off.
These are actually the 2 teams.
Barrack and Ray versus Red 4D and Mr. B.
Yeah, these are actually who's playing the video game right now. To be entirely fair, FBM2's curtain call there was like devastating.
Mm-hmm. It was really good. I almost didn't notice it at first because I'm so used to this game. I've been trained that the curtain call doesn't matter because FBM has had a frankly really rough game. 1-9.
Completed Collector.
Yeah, and that really allowed that curtain call to pivot into an assassination tool.
Also worth thinking about, that entire fight happened and Red 4D ended it with like 95% of their HP.
Mm-hmm.
98% of their HP.
Well, because there's no one to take him down. There's no Lord Dominic's on Sun Chung or Barrack. The only way you can take down Red 4D is through Barrack's Black Cleaver. But if you're spending that much time focusing the Scion, that's FBM2, that's Family Pluto, that's Mr. B just going wild in your backline. So you kind of just have to leave him alone.
It's kind of only Mr. B. But,
I mean, theoretically.
Yeah. This is a really wild game. To stress, we're having a lot of fun.
Oh, there's the snowball. We'll be able to land it. Is this the solo kill?
No, Cavalier can't do this. Actually, no, I know why he's trying, because I would, but now there's trouble. There's no vision. This is blind. Well done, though. Now Cavalier chunked down.
I mean, I guess. I am still not
Look at
vibing
how much
with that
HP
curtain call.
he has.
Many. That might be Hysteric's
If
last item.
you had to guess, how much HP do you think Red 4D has right now?
Let me see him again.
I can't.
Show me Red 4D. Summon for me. I'm gonna guess like 4.5k.
4.5k.
It's over 5k. I was wrong. Fun fact
And
for the
that's-
folks at home: if you count those thick lines, each one of those is 1,000 HP.
It's also worth noting that beyond having 5,000 HP, which is like as much as a Drake, Barrack also has so much armor.
Mm-hmm.
So much armor. That's
Actually,
why
just unconscionable.
That's why Sun Chong isn't hurting him anymore.
I think it's unethical to have this much armor. Yeah, just forced to dip out.
I feel like when Sun Chong shoots him, Sun Chong takes more damage.
I think that might actually be theoretically possible. Oh no.
Now Cavalier rooted right in the front lines of this fight. We'll drop the absolute zero uncontested. So, a nice burst of damage out. Ray in the meantime tries to death. The backline has to go into stasis. Red 4D is being thoroughly kited. Cal Cavalier will finally fall in and stop that fight. In the meantime,
bullet time
will be deployed. That's a big bullet time from Sunshine, completing their purpose in this fight. Ray gets Shaprock. It is all on Red 4D for Harvard Westlake.
Barrack!
And I don't think they can do it. Barrack is here. Barrack is strong. And as a result, I'll let this zombie play out. Sunny Hills, with an all-important fight, will get the Infernal Soul. Very likely pick the game up off of this.
Sun Chong played that fight so well. If you just rewind and watch Sun Chong's footwork, they realize that Red 4D is going for them the entire time. They just play Ring Around the Rosie around the terrain, and we're just like, you know what? There's no way I can handle this Scion. But if I can find a bullet time before I die, at the very least, I will have contributed to the fight, and that is exactly what Sun Chong tried to do, and succeeded, able to take out so much damage from Harvard.
And, you know, bonus credit goes to Cal Cavalier, who saw all of that and said, I'm going to sacrifice my life to make sure that Red 4D doesn't get onto Sun Chong. And because they did that, Sun Chong was able to find the space to line up a really good bullet time.
Mm-hmm. And I think you could see this from the itemization as well. Sun Chong isn't going for any tank shredding from this point, just going for pure survivability, going for the GA next. This is just a pure shred the squishies build.
Baron is next on the docket. We did see a turret tank in the mid, and of course the Infernal Soul is pocketed by Sunny Hills.
Oh boy, TJ, we got a game on our hands. It is 35 minutes. I was expecting this game to go quick. I have never been so wrong.
We got a game on our hands in the Fall 2020 CIF Esports Initiative Championship presented by Omen and NVIDIA HyperX and the United States Marine Corps.
We really do. Presented by Nerd Street.
Kind of powered by Nerd Street? I think that's the right language.
I think so.
They're not officially a title sponsor though, so I also don't think we have to be careful about that.
Yeah.
Barrack will drop the clone there and run away. Not interested in 1v1ing Red 4D.
Weird. Almost like it's a 10-4 Scion. With over 5,000 HP.
We're back in, baby. Now we're
Why would you
interested
go
in the
for this?
1v1, and we should not have been. Barrack has reevaluated his interest. He has checked I am not interested on the survey form, and we'll be leaving.
I think theoretically there is a way for Barrack to win that. Right now,
Just needs to
I wouldn't
play
go for it.
Dark Soul and not get hit by a single ability cast.
Pretty much. Good burst coming out from Ray. Able to force out Mr. B. They're waiting for
That's
this
like-
Baron, TJ.
Late game Fizz can theoretically win any 1v1. You just have to be perfect, right?
Yeah. Once you have the ability haste, although there's not a lot in builds right now, so it is a little bit harder than it was. Especially without Proto Belt, Ray's not going to be able to dip in and out as much as a traditional Fizz, but the Zonias will help with that.
time to play World of Warcraft. Red in the front lines, 1v2. The DPS really not holding their own here in this raid. As Red just 1v3s. Here comes the rest of the team. Mr. B looking for an angle in. Red's down to half HP. We'll reset
Absolute
that with
zero.
shielding. Absolute zero chunks to blow. Mr. B in for the damage. Not very, very low. In the meantime, in the mid lane, Ray goes down. Cavalier joins it. Barrack now here as Red gets dropped into the Tempered Fate. He is
FBM?
dead, but his zombie is terrifying. Sunny Hills and Sunshine
Bullet
and Barrack.
time.
And that is enough to win this fight.
These fights are being played on a knife's edge, and it really is just how much can Sun Chong do before Red 4D finally catches up?
Okay, I was worried this would take a long time, and it will, but it's going to be fun.
And nobody's contesting.
I don't know, Bard? Look, if Shaprock was playing Unsealed Spellbook like my Bard,
Oh, I see. Then everything would be fun.
no, then they would have lost already, but
Oh, okay. Good to know.
they would be able to steal objectives. Shaprock is building morale in Avocado. Or the chemical staff, whatever it's called. I keep forgetting that's in now.
Chem something purifier.
Chemtech Purifier.
the one.
Teamwork, baby.
Woo! Sports.
I don't really know who that's for. I guess Barrack?
Yeah. This is the only one I can think of. Ooh, Barrack
Barrack, yeah.
going for selling boots for Ravenous Hydra. Was going to go Blade of the Ruined King, but decided for Ravenous Hydra instead. Fine. I think that's fine. Move speed is one of the most valuable stats in the game. So if you're giving it up, you want to give it up for something really good.
He's so slow now. Who's that Knight's Vow from? That Knight's Vow is from Cavalier, building an SOFM.
I think that's the right way to build Nunu. I've tried building him traditional tank, but he just falls off so hard in the late game in terms of how much he's able to do. He really just becomes a zone control bot. So giving him supportive items like the Knight's Vow will do wonders for you.
Also, Knight's Vow right now is kind of mini Warmogs. It's got some really good regeneration in it. Ha! He's so fast! Finds Red 4D. I'm not sure what the plan was from that point on,
But he sure found him.
but he did find Red 4D, and that is the important part.
Ragnar forced out from Mr. B as well.
He literally didn't do any damage.
Nope. Cal Cavalier's backing. I don't think that's...
Yeah,
oh, he's
this
got
Elven
Snowball.
Drake is up. Count Cavalier will be here in time. Don't worry, he's new to it. Look at how fast he's moving on that big.
Oh my god.
Okay, this is all for the Elder Drake. And in goes Red 4D.
To the front line, looking for a
Bullet
huge
time!
bullet tying out of the back from Sunchong. Mr. B goes in to try and find the assassination, but will not. The double kill coming
That's
out. And that's going to be Red 4D down as well. The full ace about to come out. Triple kill there for Sunchong. And they're just teleporting into the base. They're teleporting for the end. No Elder Drake required. Sunny Hills High School will find their way to a championship victory.
What a good game. What a great game of League of Legends. Out of my home state. Maybe a little bit of bias there. As our California State Championship will go to Sunny Hills High School. The Lancers notorious in the region for their success. And it will continue here to die.
Beautifully played. I think that was one of the closest games we have seen this entire time. That was an incredibly close game played on a knife's edge, and it was really down to whose two carries are going to come out on top.
The fact that that game end was down to just an unkillable Scion versus an unfathomable amount of bullet time damage was just beautiful. It was just, the team fights were something else. That was a really fun game to watch. That was a really fun series to watch. Sunny Hills is like the high school program I am most interested in seeing their players graduate from. Because every single time we've seen a high school event, Sunny Hills have just produced genuinely high quality play, and trying to track those players as they graduate to collegiate and amateur teams, I think is going to be really fun.
Absolutely. TJ, is it time? Do I get
It
to do
is
the
time. What I'm hearing something, Matt. I'm hearing about HyperX.
That's right, TJ. This message is brought to you by HyperX, the official gaming sponsor of Juju Smith-Schuster, Gordon Hayward, and Valkyrie. HyperX has gaming peripherals ranging from headsets to keyboards to console controller chargers. No matter how you game, we have something for you. Use promo code HXCIF to get up to 30% off select HyperX products. Terms and conditions apply.
Could I get those last two sentences again?
Promo code.
That's promo code HXCIF. I did some weird with that word as well. Maybe it's just cursed. Of course, if you would also like to sign up for this new season of Play Versus, you can do so over at playversus.com. Our spring 2021 season is starting March 1st, so be sure to enroll today. That is, again, playversus.com for enrolling in our spring season. We're going to have one more game of High School League of Legends still to come. You won't want to miss it. Don't tune out now. We'll be right back after this break.